All right, Professor Taylor here. We're going to go ahead and create our first program now that we have installed NetBeans so that we can use Java to create our programs. First program is going to be, you guessed it, Hello World, which is super duper quick and easy. So let's go. So in our IDE, we're going to go over to File. We're going to click on New Project. And in the new project window, it's going to allow us to pick what kind of category of program we want to create and what type of project. So it's already selected to Java, so we're going to leave it at Java because we want the basic Java. And we also want to be able to make sure that it's a project that's a basic Java application. We're going to go ahead and change that to Hello World. And when you're looking at the next group of options, you'll see that, okay, so I already have the Hello World, so I need to make this Hello World 2. Boom, put 2 down there, and it works. So you can't have a project with the exact same project name. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Hello World 2. That way it'll keep running. I'm going to leave the project location and folder as a default that's selected, which is typically going to be in your C drive on your device. The create main class is automatically populated for me, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to do finish, and now it's going to open the actual development environment. So in this environment, we should see, let's make sure we have all our windows open, services, files. I want my Navigator window open. So let me pause this, make sure I get all my windows here. Okay, so we're going to resume, and I want to make sure that you can see my entire screen because we have different sections within this IDE. This section here that's all white and it has some pre-populated commands in there. That is our editor window, and our editor window is going to automatically have the name of our project as the file name. If we move over next to it, we have the projects window. In the projects window, you'll see all your files. So here's my Hello World 2. I have my source files here. Within the source files, I have my Hello World 2.java file, which is this one that we're going to be working on inside of the editor window. If I had additional libraries that I wanted to connect to my program so I can have more ability to do more things with my program, I would attach the libraries here and then reference them when needed in an appropriate way. Underneath the project window is the Navigator window, and right here, this section right here, we're going to have an additional window that's going to pop up, and that's going to be our output window where we're going to be able to see the output of the program that we write. So in our editor window, you can see that there are some wording here that's a very light gray, and is prefaced with a / and the star. The reason why that is because it's considered comment or documentation. It doesn't have any impact on the code itself. It's just kind of like notes to self or notes to the person who comes after me. So in this part, I'm going to go ahead and change the wording they had in here to just put notes. And then I'm going to say what kind of notes they are. Comments. So comments and documentation for my code. You know, just something random. And then I might add a third line that says, keep track of changes. Something basic, right? Keep track of changes. So these are the notes that I have to myself. We have the package for our Hello World 2, which is basically our file that we're creating in order to be able to run this program. Of course, I'm the author. Your name will pop up here as you're editing it. You can always make changes or delete this. But when you're dealing with any type of program in Java, you're going to have classes and methods. So here our class is Hello World, right? And our method is going to be the main method, which is going to allow us to be able to ask for the program to print for us the terminology Hello World. So So that's fun. That's a good thing. And classes allow for us to be able to define what we want an object to do. Basically, the objects is what's going to be held inside of our methods, and that's going to allow us to be able to create things. So the first thing we're going to create here, since it already has the the start of the code written for us, which you would probably be good to delete this and actually type it out yourself. But we're going to go ahead and do a system. I have to spell it right. Dot out print line, and it should bring it up for me. What is let's see if I can spell right. Oh my goodness, why am I laughing at myself? You know what? You gotta have fun, right? You gotta have fun when you do things. And so we're gonna go ahead and type in here hello world and make sure they're in parentheses. And we're going to put a comma between our hello world because technically hello and world are arguments that we're asking for our method to print out for us. I need to make sure this is a period and not a comma. Right. And it's telling me there's an error, so I need to see where is my error. Oh, right, I don't have my semicolon. So if I try to run this now, where it's telling me there's an error, it wouldn't work. So I'll give you an example. I need to have a semicolon here, but I'll give you an example of what it looks like. Whenever you run a program in NetBeans, you have to build it or run. You can click this hammer, the hammer that doesn't have anything next to it, and that says to build your project. Or you can go over to your .java file with the same name as the project and right click on it and do a run file. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the build, and we should be able to see the error that comes up from it. Okay, so on our output screen, it shows us there's an error here, and the error is because we don't have our semicolon, and see, it's showing it right here, it's semicolon, which is kind of nice, right? So it lets you see what your errors are. So I'm going to go back into this program. I'm going to add my semicolon, and you see that little, almost like a stop sign went away. And I'm going to go ahead and rebuild and see what it gives us. Okay, it says finish building here at the bottom. And then in our output window, we have that very beautiful and bold green letters that are caps. Build successful, which means we did it. So that calls for, you guessed it, the 7-second turn up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You did your first program. So as we move on in the course, you'll do actually really good programs. You'll learn about loops and arrays and recursion and all that great stuff that makes up a program. So see you soon.